Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to complete the socio-economic reform movements. This is one of the most very important chapter from which 1 to 2 questions are continuously being asked in the UPSC as well as the state PSC examination. So in this video we are going to cover these topics in depth and it is very useful for your revision purposes. So let us start now. First one is the Prarthana Samaj. Now before starting, I would like you to tell that the socio-economic, socio-cultural reform movements has its root and is also known as the Indian Renaissance. Now the Indian Renaissance, who is known as the father of Indian Renaissance? So Raja Ram Mohan Roy is known as the father of the Indian Renaissance. Okay. So there are different socio and cultural movements that took place in India which challenged the orthodox mindset by the ways of rationalism, by the ways of reason and all. So let us start. Now the first came the Prarthana Samaj in the year 1867. Now we are going to cover all of the aspects in here. So let us start now. The first one is the Prarthana Samaj of the 1867. Now it was founded by Atmaram Pandurang and the aim was liberalization. It was against the casteism, propagated monotheism. Monotheism means believe in one God. Another thing was the social reform and it was attached to the Bhakti cult of Maharashtra. Now, it had a 4-point agenda. What was that? First of all, it disapproved the caste system. It favored the women's education. Also, widow remarriage, it also supported. And raising the age of marriage for both men and women was also the thing that was propagated by Prarthana Samaj. Next important thing is widow remarriage movement. It was founded by D.K. Karve and M.G. Ranade. Young Bengal movement was founded by Henry Vivan Thoreau. Now, Thoreau taught at Women's College. Now, he was inspired from the ideas of French Revolution. Now, he was also the first nationalist poet of modern India. Now, this is a very important thing that it can be asked in the examination, that who was known as the first nationalist poet of modern India. So, Henry Vivan Thoreau was the name of that. Now, no long-term impact. This Young Bengal movement failed to give a long-term impact. It could not connect with masses as it was too radical, and it was also believed that it was way ahead of its time. Okay. Now, next important thing is the Brahmo Samaj. It was founded in the year 1828 by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Then was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Now, the details about the Brahmo Samaj I have dealt at last because it is very important topic and in-depth knowledge is required about the Brahmo Samaj. So, it is given at the end of this lecture. Now, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, he is also known as pioneer personality who was associated with the widow remarriage. Now, in 1850, he was the principal of Sanskrit College. He was determined to break the priestly monopoly over the scriptural knowledge. He believed that the scriptural knowledge was not only confined and should not be confined to the priestly class only. He discovered a new pedagogy for Sanskrit. He also wrote a new Bengali primer and he introduced a new prose style. Widow remarriage law in the year 1856 was introduced with the efforts of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. And on the other hand, if I talk about the abolition of sati, so it was done in the year 1828, and the pioneer figure who worked to remove this evil practice of sati was Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Now, in addition to that, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar organized 35 girls' schools and he was also the secretary of Bethune School. Next important figure is Bal Shastri Jambekar. He was known as the father of Marathi journalism. He was pioneer of social reforms through journalism. Now, he wrote in 1832 Darpan and in 1840 Digdarshan. So these both were associated with Bal Shastri Jambekar. This you have to know. Now, he founded the Bombay Native General Library. He started the Student Literary and Scientific Library, and he was first Hindi professor at Elphinstone College. Now, next is Paramhans Mandali. Was founded in 1849 by Dadoba Pandurang and Mehtaji Durgaram. It began, the Paramhans Mandali initially began as a secret society. Its ideology was similar to the Manav Dharam Sabha, that is, that propagated monotheism, religion based on love. So, this Paramhans Mandali is also important. The most important point here is to note about the leaders who founded this. Then the famous Satya Sodhak Samaj in the year 1873 was founded by Jyotirao Phule. The aim of the Satya Sodhak Samaj was social service, spreading education among the women as well as the lower caste. Now, in detail, let us see some of the facts about Jyotirao Phule. He wrote, first of all, the Sarvajanik Satyadharma and Gulamgiri. So these two are the most important books or the generals that you need to know. Sarvajanik Satyadharma and Gulamgiri. The symbol Raja Bali was used by him. Complete abolition of caste system was propagated. He opened a new girls' school with the help of his wife, Savitri Bai Phule. Now, widow remarriage, he also opened a widow remarriage home and home for widows in 1854. In addition to that, he was awarded the title of Mahatma for his social work. Okay, now you have to mention me in the comment section that when was Vallabhbhai given the title of Sardar, in which movement he was given the title of Sardar, and who gave the title of Sardar to Vallabhbhai Patel. Now, next important figure is Gopal Hari Deshmukh. He is also known as Lokahitvadi. He was a judge under the British rule. He wrote the Journal Hiteshu and he attacked the Hindu orthodoxy. Gopal Hari Deshmukh played an important role in founding Gyan Prakash and Indu Prakash. Okay. Next is in the line is now Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. He was the co-founder of the New English School. In addition to that, if I talk about the principal, he was the principal of the Ferguson College, first editor of Kesari, which was written by Tilak. He started a periodical Sudharak which was against untouchability. Now this is very important. You need to know about the periodic which was named as Sudharak. Now, Servants of India Society in the year 1905 was established by Gopal Krishna Gokhale, and later Ranade also, M.G. Ranade also joined the Servants of India Society. Hitavada was written by him. Later, Gokhale also wrote Hitavada, and later it was written by Srinivas Shastri. Now, next movement is SNDP, that is Sri Narayan Guru Dharma Paripalana movement, or it is also known as the Aruvipura movement. Now, this was led by Sri Narayan Guru Swami. It was a regional movement. Okay. Now, Narayan Swami was an Ezvaz, which was untouchable caste, and it propagated on the thing of temple entry. They propagated the temple entry. Okay. Let's now come to the next point, that is Vokalika Sangha. In 1905 it was established in Mysore and it was an anti-Brahmin movement. Now, justice movement, if I talk about this justice movement, C.N. Mudaliar, T.M. Nair and P. Tyagaraj, these three collectively founded this justice movement. Next in the line, the justice movement aimed to secure jobs and representation for non-Brahmins in the legislature. Next is self-respect movement. Now, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar led the self-respect movement, and it was against the Brahmanical religion. It was against the Brahminical religion. It uprightly rejected it. Next is Ramakrishna movement. It was led by Swami Vivekanand. The details are given below. I've mentioned it in this PDF later on. Arya Samaj was established in the year 1875 by Dayanand Saraswati. The childhood name of Dayanand Saraswati was Mool Shankar. Okay, the details of this Arya Samaj movement is also given below, because these are some of the most important movements. Theosophical movement was founded in 1875 by H.P. Blavatsky and M.S. Alcott. So the point here to remember is that Annie Besant is not a founder of Theosophical movement. Okay. Now the headquarter of Theosophical movement was shifted to Adyar. Adyar is in Madras, and it was shifted by Annie Besant. Next in the line came Wahhabi movement. Now, the Wahhabi movement took inspiration from the teachings of Abdul Wahhab of Arabia and Shah Waliullah, and it was the revivalist response. So, what was the aim of Wahhabi movement? First of all, harmony among the four schools of Muslim jurisprudence. Second one was recognize the role of individual conscience. So, it was this movement's aim was to revive the Islam. Okay. Now let us see another things. Now this is Ahmadiyya movement. In 1889 it was established by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Now the movement originated in India. It was based on the liberal principles. So Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, he was the bearer of the movement. Only Islamic sect, Ahmadiyya movement was the only Islamic sect to believe that Ghulam Ahmad was a Messiah of the Prophet of God. Now, Devband School ya Darul Uloom, it was established in the year 1866 by Muhammad Qasim Nanatawi and Rashid Ahmad Gangohi. Now, this Devband School was organized by Orthodox Muslim ulamas. It was there for the revivalist jihad. It welcomed the formation of Indian National Congress and issued fatwa against Sayyid Ahmad Khan's organization, because this Sayyid Ahmad Khan organization, its aim was to reform Islam on the western lines. Okay, on the western lines. Next is Fariazi movement of 1818 was uh, established by Haji Shariatullah. The aim was for eradicating social innovation and Islamic practices organized by the paramilitary forces. Next, the leader of this Fariazi movement was Daddu Mian. Aligarh movement by Sayyid Ahmad Khan, against which fatwa was issued by the Deoband school. The magazine, the name of the magazine was Tahdib ul Akhlaq, that is improvement of manners and morals of the Islamic religion. Next is Seva Sadan in 1908 was founded by Behram Malabari plus का मतलब and Diwan Dayaram Gindumal. Now this Seva Sadan was against child marriage, and it led to the establishment of the passing of the age of consent bill. Next is Rehnumai Mazdayanza Sabha of 1851, whose leaders were Dadabhai Naroji, K.R. Kama and S.S. Bengali. They propounded the newspaper Rast Gofar, and it led to Parsis becoming westernized. So this movement was basically associated with the Parsis reformant movement. Singh Sabha movement of the year 1873, it propounded the Western education. Akali movement or the Gurdwara reform movement was an offshoot of Sikh Sabha movement. Now, the aim of which was to liberate Gurdwaras from the control of the corrupt Udasi Mahants. Dev Samaj in 1887 was founded by Shiv Narayan Agnihotri. It earlier followed the Brahmo Samaj, but it was against the Brahmo Samaj when it was established separately, and the book Dev Shastra was written by Shiv Narayan Agnihotri, who founded the Dev Samaj. Now, Dharma Sabha was established in 1830 by Radhakanta Dev. Now, it was against the Orthodox society. It opposed the abolition of sati and favored the promotion of Western education. So, the name is very much important. You will have to remember this. Radha Swami movement of 1861 was founded by Shiv Dayal Sahab. Indian Social Conference in 1887 by M.G. Ranade and Raghunath Rao. This Indian Social Conference, it advocated the intercaste marriages, it opposed polygamy, and it launched a pledge movement that was pledge against the child marriage. Now, let me give you some of the details about the Brahmo Samaj, Arya Samaj, etc. Now, the Brahmo Samaj was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He was also known as the father of Indian Renaissance. He followed monotheism. He wrote The Gift to Monotheists, translated Vedas and Upanishad into Bengali to prove that ancient text advocates monotheism. Okay. Next was he also established Atmiya Sabha in Calcutta. He was against idolatry and against casteism and against rituals. Next is he also wrote the Precepts of Jesus. In 1828, he founded the Brahmo Samaj. Radhakant Dev organized Dharm Sabha to oppose the Brahmo Samaj propaganda. Next in lies what were the features of Brahmo Samaj. सबसे पहला तो it denounced polytheism and idolatry and preached monotheism. Next was it discarded faith in avatars. No scripture is above human reason and conscience. This was what was followed. It was against the caste system. It was against it followed the social reforms, and no definite stand on karma was taken. What was the role of this Brahmo Samaj in the social progress, social uh, outline? It criminalized sati in the year 1829. Women rights were given. It was against polygamy. Right of widows were to be given. Right to inherit property for women was also one of the agenda. If I talk about the modern education, it supported David Harry's effort to establish Hindu College in 1817, and in 1825 it also supported the Vedant College that was formed. Next is he compiled Bengali grammar and evolved a modern, elegant prose style. Now, what were the other demands that were made? So, it condemns the zamindari and demand fixing of the rents, tax abolition on tax free lands, Indianization of the superior services were also the agenda, separation of judiciary from executive, which is also a DPSP under Article 50 of the Constitution right now. It also advocated for judicial equality between Indians and Europeans. Now, if I talk about Devendranath Tagore, he headed the Tattva Bodhini Sabha. He joined the Brahmo Samaj in the year 1842. So, what was the aim? It was within Hinduism. He wanted to carry out various reforms, and outside, he opposed the missionaries. Devendranath Tagore supported widow remarriage, women education, and abolished the system of polygamy. Now, Keshav Chandra Sen, if I talk about, he was made Acharya by Devendranath Tagore in the year 1858. Also, he founded the Brahmo Samaj of India. So, this one is also very important. Now, Ramakrishna movement. So, this Ramakrishna Math was established by Paramhans Mandli himself. So, Ramakrishna Paramhans himself, and Vivekananda founded the Ramakrishna Mission in the year 1897. Now, if I talk about Swami Vivekananda, just a second. So, he was the preacher of Neo Hinduism. Knowledge without action is useless. It was also propagated. Parliament of Religion at Chicago was conducted. Swami Vivekananda was a member and actively participated in this Parliament of Religions at Chicago in the year 1893. He advocated the doctrine of service, that is the service of all beings. Next is about the Arya Samaj. Now, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, it was founded by Swami Dayanand Saraswati. It was reaction to the Western influences. Now, if I talk about Swami Dayanand, he wrote Satyarth Prakash. He propagated the casteless and classless society. He gave the slogan of go back to Vedas. He also favored to study the Vedantas. He criticized Hindu beliefs in Maya and Moksha. He believed in the theory of karma and reincarnation. He was against casteism, untouchability, idolatry, polytheism, charms, and animal sacrifices. Okay, so Shuddhi movement, it was a movement under the Arya Samaj only. So this is an important point. This Shuddhi movement was a movement within the Arya Samaj in which it was targeted to reconvert Hindus from Islam and Christianity. Okay. Now this is all about the socio-cultural reform movements. Now अगर आप इतना ही prepare कर लेते हो, so you will be able to tackle most of the questions in the examination. So अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो do give this video a like, do mention in the comment section ये वीडियो कैसी लगी आपको, and do subscribe the channel if you are new to this channel. So thank you for watching this video and keep studying.